Alright, so as you notice, if you will remember to our last meeting, no? I discussed things with regards to uh, variables, isn't it? And I mentioned like when the exponents are different, they cannot be multiplied. There's a correction because the one that I thought it is for the deeper math, it is for the primes. No, so I did correct that one. Isn't it that if we are multiplying variables, could be as long as it is the same. No, just that when we have variables, when we are going to multiply variables, we are going to add the exponent. No, the one that I thought is for the deeper math, for the primes. If you have the primes, actually we are going to tackle that primes. No? Maybe at calculus for grade. That one. Huh? Alright, so that is what we have. Like this one. Primes are seen just like, for example, x1 prime x what's the first prime, then x second prime, third prime, like that one. Those are what we call as prime. So by now, with regards to variables, once again, with regards to variables, if we're going to multiply them, the exponents just adds. Okay? Alright. So before we anything else, alright, so let's have the short opening prayer as usual. You did the prayer, Rudy.
Okay po, are you ready to pray, classmates? In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, we offer you everything we do today, all our works, our joys, and our sorrows. Everything will be an act of love for you, Holy Mary, Saint Joseph, Saint Michael, Saint Anne, and Guardian Angel. Intercede for me so that I may be deserved to be heaven safely and always. For Angel Pilar, pray for us in the name of the Son, and Spirit.
Thank you for that one, Jody. Alright. Alright, so let's just go straight forward. Alright, so what we discussed last time is let's wait. Okay. This class, who among you recalls what did we discuss last time? Last Tuesday, rather. May I call on, May I call on. Gian, what do you recall to the discussion that we had last Tuesday? In advance. So,
Hello, can you repeat this, please?
yes po.
It is important to know the factor, the root, and the zeros, and the EV, zero, and multiplicity.
Okay. How about Anna? What do you recall? Yes po, part. Anna.
When we are adding the variables, multiplying the variables po.
Okay. With that one there's a correction the one that I did is for the prime. Anyways, once again, if you still have the confusion, if you are still confused with regards to the graphing, there's a recorded video with that one and with that manner, I did tell already and discuss things like until where, when are we going to have that curve. Okay? Alright, and as Gian mentioned, we discussed the multiplicities. Okay, so let's just recall what are multiplicities, and those are the things that we need to remember, no? The EB, what else? Zeros, the multiplicities. Alright. So if we say EB, that is the end behavior. In order for us to know what is the behavior of the end of the graph, whether it is going up or going down, isn't it? Or going down, like that one. Alright, that is for EB. How about multiplicities? If you say multiplicities, what is multiplicities? Sige nga po. so that we couldn't have this kind of confusion, because maybe some of you are able to watch the video. Aside from Jake, is there anyone who watched the video or just half, really none? If you still have questions in there, please try to uh, watch that one. And there is also some information, additional information, which I mentioned that that might benefit with regards to the graphing. Okay? All right. So, if we say multiplicities, sige po, in your own words, Sarah, or what do you recall when we say multiplicity? Sarah. Sarah Marie.
Sorry, sir, there's two Sarah.
Yeah. Sorry. Sige po.
I don't know the sir eh. Kung nasa video, I didn't finish the video.
Sige po. All right. How about Abigail? How about Pawi? But not by the definition, no. But how do we use? How are we going to get the multiplicities? Yun na lang po. Sige. How do we get multiplicities? Yeah. Sige. How about Antoinette?
Sir, in my own per yeah, it's
What's that?
the exponent of each term.
Okay. Good. That is the exponent of each term. Okay. Who wants to add up with what Antoinette said? Bernadette.
I don't know po, sorry.
Okay. How about Nathaniel?
Sir, I'm not so sure po.
But if you're not so sure, what you just uh, what seems to be stuck in there, like even little,
Sir, with what po, sir?
even little, like is there a dilemma with what is really multiplicities are?
Sir, kasi po may guess po there po. I think po it's how many times it can be multiplied po, like that po.
Okay, all right, sige po. How about Jake? Oh, you're the one who watched the video, ha? Okay. There's a clue already from Antoinette and Nathaniel. Jake, you're the one who was able to watch. Sige po.
Sir, for me, it's the exponent to for the factor.
For the factor. Okay. For as what Antoinette said, exponent of the term. And for Nathaniel, it is how many it was multiplied. Okay. By Jake, exponents of the factor. Okay. For the clarifications, because as I assess, no, that I am teaching, I really see in your faces that in terms of multiplicities, gumuguno, no? Gumagano na yung itsura. Okay? Nagkakaumpugan na yung kilay. Alright, so when we say multiplicities, no, from the word itself, multiply, no, multiply or multi, no, the multiples of it, no, from what Nathaniel said, it is correct. Yung multiples nun. For example, if I will be giving you for cube. Okay? So, if you say multiple, just like in a clone. Yung tao, kinlone, di ba? Ilang beses siya kinlone? Ilang beses siya minultiple? Okay? How many times it was multiple? Okay? So, in this case, if this is your clone, for example, you are number 4, clone number 4, how many times are you going to be multiplied? or multiplied with. You're going to multiply by yourself by how many times? 3. No? You have the multiples of 3. Hindi to multiples ha. It's not 4, 6, 4, 6. 4, 8, 12, 16. It's not multiples ha. But from the word multiples, how many times it was times to itself? Or how many times it was multiplied by itself? By itself. So for example, once again, X. Or for example, Jake. Jake. Jake number 1. Okay. Nasa chamber siya, no? Sige po. Then, our professor, scientist professor said that Jake should be multiplied in how many times to itself? Let's say, we need 4 Jakes. Yan. We need 4 Jakes. So, if we multiplied him in a chamber, so we could get 4 Jakes. Jake, Jake, Jake. Correct? And in this case, this chamber, no? This chamber is our factor. So correct, Jake, no? Jake. So correct. It is the exponent of the factor. Correct. And if you will notice, what is our given last time? Our given is x plus 2, x minus 1 squared, and x minus 4. If you will notice, no, if we say multiplicities, that's the exponent or the degree of the factor. Oh, ngayon, this is the question, no? What is the degree or the exponent of each factor? We have 3 factors, isn't it? The first one, second, third. So, what is the exponent of the first degree, Francis?
1 po.
1, of course. So, our multiplicity is 1. For the second factor, we have Jake. We have 2. I'll be the one to answer, ha? Then, for the third factor, we have 1. O, bakit? And this is the question. If this is your chamber, and x plus 2 was Jake, how many times did Jake multiply? Sa kanya lang, isang beses lang siya. Kumbaga, siya lang yun, okay? Wala nang ibang mag-multiply. Wala nang, there are no such Jake that was multiplied. Okay? Only 1 Jake. Okay? So, same goes by for the second factor. No? It was multiplied. No? Or, not really to multiplied, but it was multiplied to itself only. On how many by itself. Okay? So, if we have x minus 1 multiplied by itself, we have 2. Okay? Next, for the third factor, we only have 1 because exponent of or the degree of that factor is only 1. And with that said, okay, correct, Jake ha? Jake, the one that you mentioned that is the exponent of the factor. Correct. But this is my question because you're the one who watched, no? Sige po. What is the purpose of multiplicity? Sige. Oh, it doesn't mean that you are the one to watch. I am going to ask you. You're the only one to. So I'm going to ask you, ha. Next time, no one will watch already. That is just a form of review in order for you to have a clarification or better understanding. What is the multiplicity for? Para saan siya? Sige, Tagalog. Para saan siya? Ano yung purpose niya? Ano nagagawa niya? Kasi dito din, nakita ko yung mga nagkukunot na naman. Binibigay ko ang multiplicity pero hindi alam nangyari. Ang multiplicity, ganito. Makinig ha. You get the multiplicity already? Ano ang multiplicity ng unang factor? 1. Tama? Now, I did give you a graph when you have an expression that it was raised to 1. Isn't it? Okay. So just imagine your x. Your x is the factor itself. Okay? So what if your x raised to 2? So the x would be your factor, so it means the graph would be how? Isn't it that there is 3 three graphs, the straight line, the curved line or the bell graph, and the zigzag or the S. Isn't it? Oh, so if we have one multiplicity, no, so it seems like x raised to 1. Tama? Oh, tama. Okay, so if we have x raised to 1, paano ang graph niyan? Nathaniel. Oh, sige po, si Abigail na lang tumuturo. Sige, Abigail, paano ang graph ng x raised to 1?
U-shape, but it's pataas.
U-shape, x raised to 1. Oo, okay, si Sarah umiiling. Oh, Sarah, sige. Seems like you know the answer. Oh, Sarah.
It's a straight line po from third quadrant to first quadrant.
Correct, no? It is coming from third quadrant to first quadrant. But what is the property of that expression? Anong property nito? Mapapansin niyo yung graph niya straight line lang. Tama? So, tatandaan nyo, pagkaisa ang multiplicity or ang exponent is 1, ang property niya is straight line lang. Okay? Yes, it's fine. Okay? Alright, so if it's straight line, of course, if we have the general graph last time, isn't it just like this? Okay. We have the intercept, x-intercept. We know the end behavior last time, coming from the top, isn't it? Because x, and we have also 2x. So it will become x raised to 4. I did explain this one to the video. Isn't it, Jake? Okay. And if we saw it's x raised to 4, it's positive x, and even. Okay? When it's positive, anong mangyayari? The end of it will what? Facing upwards and with first quadrant. Ayun ang positive. And if it's even, two ends of that graph are with the same direction. Kung positive siya parehas, it means the end of those graphs are still facing or are both facing upwards, or negative, both facing downwards. Gets? Alright, so in this case, it is x raised to 4. So it would be facing upwards both. Now, if we know that it is facing upwards, both, so it seems like we are going to start at the top, going to the bottom. So the property of the multiplicity, 1, is straight line. So we are just going to create straight line. Gets? And nagtapos tayo dito. We ended into this part. But we don't know yet, no? We don't know yet where we are going to create a curve, no? And with that part, we are going to follow it with the next factor, which is x minus 2. And the multiplicity of that one is m is equal to 2, or it has 2. And if we have 2, it is x squared, isn't it? Oh, because the factor is raised to 2. And how is the graph of x squared? It is curve, or the bell curve, isn't it? So in that case, we stop in the below, no, in the bottom. In that case, we are going to create a bell curve point. Okay? Alright, so once we create a bell curve on it, we stop on the bottom as well. Okay? And with that said, we're going to get through for the third factor. And what's the multiplicity? 1. Tama? Ano yung property ng multiplicity pagka 1 lang? It is x raised to 1, isn't it? So we are going to have a straight line only. So in that case, we are going to go back upwards. Kasi dito tayo nagtapos. Tama? Okay? That's how it is. Okay. Aside from this one, maybe you have question as well with the x-intercept. Paano natin nakuha si x-intercept? Sige po, tanungin natin ulit si Jake. Siya nakapanood. Jake, how did we get the x-intercepts?
Sir, I don't know.
Why? X-intercepts. Sige nga po, sige po. I will be asking who knows what are the X-intercepts in this graph? This is the last graph that we had. I'll be going back. Sige po, dyan. What is our X-intercept? Zyril? Sige po, Nathaniel.
Sir, is it negative to 1 and then 4 po?
Yes, that's correct. No. How did we get? Sir, yung yan. That's why we have EB, zeros, and multiplicities, di ba? So, the one that I mentioned is to remember EB, zeros, and multiplicities. Isn't it? So, the end behavior, alam na natin yan. Yung zeros, ang purpose niyan, in order for us to get the roots, or yung sa zeros, yung ZPP. If you say ZPP, zero product property. So we are going to equate. We're going to equate each factor. For example, each factor is x plus 2. We're going to equate each factor to 0. Ayan ang ZPP. So if we equate each factor to 0, we are kind of going to get the value of x. And with that said, we're going to transpose the value of x. Tama? And that said, we have negative 2. Negative 2, I'll be erasing some of it kasi ang baboy na. Okay, this one. Isn't it? So we have x plus 2, and the transposition of that x's by ZPP or zero product property is negative 2 because we are going to transfer to the other side, isn't it? All right, so negative 2. This is negative 2. And this is positive 1. Let's just say the curve is in here. Adjust natin. Tayo mag-adjust. Gawa tayo panibago. Tayo mag-adjust. Let's just say this one. Negative 2. This one. Ayan. Tayo nag-adjust Alright, so this is negative 2, this is positive 1, and this is 4. Okay, so I want you to remember you have 3 intercepts, isn't it? 3 intercepts. Now, from the 3 intercepts that you have, we are going to discuss this graphing as well. Calculus. Yes, calculus. Third grading or fourth grading. In order for us to know in which part of the Cartesian plane would the graph lies, no? So ibig sabihin, if you will recall, what are the numbers between the two ends or the two intercepts that we have? What are the end intercepts that we have? Negative 2 and positive 4. So what are the numbers from the number line itself? No? I'll just erase this one. From the number line itself, if this is your number line, if this is your 0, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. From the number line itself, what are the numbers between negative 2 and 4? Diba? Ito. Tama? So, ang purpose nito is para makita kung hanggang saan sila. Kung saan papatong or tatama yung graph. Gets? And what we have, ba't kayo natatawa sa papatong? This is the one half. The numbers that we have, okay? Numbers that we have, where would this point, no, lies? When we substitute them to the function. Ito yung function natin. Tama? Pag ginamit natin itong mga numbers na to, dito sa function, makikita nyo kung hanggang saan. Jake, do you remember when we use negative 1 and positive 3, saan siya nag-lies? Saan siya nag-lies? Saan siya nag-end?
I forgot.
You try sige, pabilisan. You have calculator out there. Okay. Please get out your calculator and please compute. No, please compute once again. Use the numbers of -1, no, to substitute in this function. Ito yung function natin na x, no, x plus 2, the quantity of x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 2 squared. Don't forget the squared, ha? Squared yan. And x minus 4, only that one. What will be the answer? This one, ha? Okay. -20, as Antoinette says. Cyril, -20. How about the others? Do you agree that it is -20? So it is -20, right? When we get -1. How about when we substitute +3? Sige nga po, i-try. What seems to be the answer? When we substitute +3 to these functions, don't forget the squared, ha? What is the final answer? As Zyril said, it's -20. Really, it's -20? Oh, -20, no? Oh, what did you notice? They are the same. Yes, it is the same. So it only means that when we substitute x, or the value of x-intercepts, this is the x-intercepts, isn't it? They lie on the x-axis. No, so it means this x values, no, when we substitute them to the value of x's in this function, now from the word function may function na yung polynomial function mo. Ibig sabihin, malalaman mo na kung anong value ng y. Okay, saan maglalies si y. So when you have -20, therefore, you have -20 below. Okay? Doon siya tatama. So, ibig sabihin, magkakaroon siya ng point doon. And once you create or once you substitute, no? Once you substitute rather, no? The numbers between -2 and +4 to our functions, meron din sila. O, sige nga po, try natin. When you substitute 0 to the function, what will be the answer? After this one, let's go forward. What's the answer when we substitute 0? Let's try. Maybe you're going to tell syntax error. No, there's no syntax error there, ha? Oh, what's the answer? When we substitute the value of 0 in each x. Anyone? What's the answer? Okay. Daryl, Abigail. Oh, seems like it's -8, no? So let's just say for 0, it is -8. How about when we use +2? Sige nga po, you try to substitute the value of +2. +2, ha? Substitute +2 to the values of x's. You sure, Cyril? -8 still? Oh, as well as you? John? They still have an adjusted, as well as x. Okay. So our answer in there, when we substitute +2 to our function, is -8 as well. So what did you notice? When the graph lies on a equal distance, if you will notice, there is three points, isn't it? So from that 3 points, kung tatlo yan, ito yung magkabilang dulo, tama? Then your other point is, let's say, on the middle. So if it's the middle of your graph, it means this endpoints are equal to one another, isn't it? So it means this is a graph that has equality, no? So it means if ever whatever your distance in here would be the distance of your other side, and whatever you got to the value of your left side will be the value of your right side as well, if it's inequality, no? And therefore, it only shows when it is -8 both, tama? So, ginamit natin si 0, ibig sabihin, nag-lies, no? Meron siyang point na tumatama hanggang -8. Same goes by dito sa +2. So -8, and we could see that they are just level. So kung mapapansin nyo, kung ang itsura niyan sa graph, ganito ha, I will be making another slide. Sorry. Kung itsura niyan ay ganito lang, ganito, to, to. Kung itsura niyan is, those one. Okay? Kung itsura niyan ganyan, mapapansin nyo, ito, lahat ng numbers na nandito, at kung may point yan, makakabuo siya. Tingnan nyo ha, gagawin ko. For example. This one and this one. If we will be erasing the graph, pansin nyo ha, pansin nyo. Kung ito yung mga points na yan, yung mga points na yan, equal. And nagkikreate siya ng pattern. Kung mapapansin nyo, dyan lang gagalaw ang graph. Nakakuha? Yun. Okay? That's it. Alright? So, for better understanding, the informations are in the video as well. By venue Jake ha. Okay. So, enough for this graphings already, no? Alright. Now, as I said in the video, we're going to discuss now about the fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay? Alright. So when we say fundamental theorem of algebra, we kindly read Maynard.
Sir, I'll read. Every polynomial equation with a degree higher than 0 has at least one root in the set of complex numbers. Corollary, a polynomial equation of the form Px equals 0 of degree n with complex coefficients has exactly n roots in the set of complex numbers.
Okay. So, in your own words, sige po, what do you understand, Maynard?
I don't understand pa.
Sige, who understand what Maynard read? Seems like it's always complex numbers only, no? All right. So it says here, when you have polynomial equation, no? Would you mind to give me a polynomial equation, Sarah? Polynomial equation. N. Any polynomial equation. Equation. Okay. How about Chanel? This is the first thing that we discuss, isn't it? Going back to the slide, ha? This one. Do you remember this one? Oh, oh. Would you mind to give me an example of polynomial equation po? Maria, Ana. Ana. Random, random. Sige po.
Sir, y equals to
Again. Sorry.
wait, sir. Um, y equals to um x squared plus 2x plus 7.
Okay. Alright ha. Sige po. Thank you, Ana. Alright. So, how about the others? Would you mind to give me other polynomial equation? Akira.
Sir, 5x plus 2 equals 0.
5x plus 2 is equal to 0.
Okay.
Alright. Sige po. Sige po. Stay muna tayo sa dalawa. Okay? So, what do you see the difference? What differences do you see among the two examples that they have given? Hmm. May I call on Pawi? What differences do you see among the two given examples? Pawi? 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 You're still with us? The microphone is muted, huh? Yeah. I thought I'm going to remove you already. Sige po. Sige po. Please open your camera so that I could see you. Okay. It's given. It's given already in the presentation. Y is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 7. That is from Anna. And 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. This came from, who owns this one? Akira. Okay. What differences did you see among the given examples? Okay, number of them. Okay, how? Sige po. Go. Okay. So thank you, Fabi. How about Enzo?
Po, can you repeat the question po?
Wait. Ano na? 2022 na. Again, what differences do you see on the given examples of your classmates?
Uh, the answer are the equals the it's in a different place. So the first example given by I forgot already, but the first example the given is before the equation, and the next one's the given is after the equation.
Okay. How about Kevin?
Sure, the example that Anna has given has exponent while the one Akira given doesn't have.
Okay. Alright. So, um, as we heard, the answer of your classmates seems like it is the common ones that you can literally see, no? So, may I ask your answer? How about Gabriel, Biteng?
Um, they have different forms po.
Forms of?
The first one is in standard form, and the other is I don't know.
Sige po. Last one ha. How about Aldea?
Sir, they already gave
Yeah.
the obvious ones eh. I don't know what to add
Sige
anymore.
po. Please listen. Please listen. What do we call to this equation? Or what do you call to this expression? We call this as polynomial function. While this given, we call this one as polynomial equation. Okay? So just remember that. When you see y, of course, there is a function. Now, this is my question. Isn't it that last time um, we differentiate the expression and equation, isn't it? Okay. So it seems like you know it already. What is equation? Okay. So if I will be asking you, what is a polynomial equation? Once again, let's try ha. Let's try Renz Santos. Renz. Renz.
Two polynomials are equal to each other.
Okay. Sige po. It is correct. No? There are two polynomials or expressions that are equals to each other. Or we could also say that there is two, no? Two quantities that are equals to each other. Or that equation, no, simply equates to another term. Okay? So, pinapakita sa equation na equal. Kaya nga equa. Tama? From the word equa, equal. So, from the equation, there is specific value that has, or this expression shows that this expression has a value that equals to that term or value. Okay, correct? How about function? How can we say, or in your own words, how can you say what is a polynomial function? Oh, oh, tanggalin muna si Google ha. Ito muna, tanggalin muna si Google kung mag-google. Ito na lang tatanungin ko. Pag narinig nyo ang salitang function, general ha, tanggalin muna si math. Pag narinig nyo ang salitang function, what comes into your mind? Let's call on Francis. Function.
Operation.
Operation. Okay. How about Nathaniel? Take off the math first. Take off the math first. Just in general word. Function. When you heard function, what's that one?
Sir, parang standard form po.
Standard format pa rin. Sige. Okay. As Antoinette said, it's purpose. How about princess?
I think it's the use po.
Use. Okay. How about Carleal? Card. Substituting mo pa rin eh.
So, can you skip me? Because I can't find an answer ko eh.
Final answer? Ang tanong ko lang
Yes,
naman,
I'm just...
pag naririnig mo yung salitang function, wag na sa math, sa English na lang, or sa'yo, ano bang function mo sa buhay? Yan.
It means...
Oh, see? You have answer? Ay.
It means it is a person's purpose po.
Purpose? Most likely purpose. No. Or we could say that it is one that helps or tools, no, na merong that causes something, isn't it? So when we say function, there is if we say a thing that it has a function, there is a purpose. It has a purpose. So it means if you say that this is a function, there is something to do with y. Okay? Now, bakit merong y? Most likely, bakit y? Bakit? If you say y is equal to a function, why there is a y? Sige nga po. Kasi, bakit? Kaya nga, meron tayong function ganito yan, ha? What is the, if you, sometimes you are being asked, like, what is the function of, this is my question, ha? What is the function of mouse? Sige. Mouse, in a computer, ha? Anong function ni mouse? Joey D. What's the function of mouse in computer? Real life situation, this one, ha? Mike. Sige po.
The purpose of the mouse po or the function po is to point, click, and scroll po.
Good. Okay. Now, what is the function of monitor, Bernadette?
It is useful to see the it is useful for the computer to see and to do work in the
Computer. Good. Now, may I ask you, what if you don't have the mouse and the monitor? Wala silang function. Hindi sila nagpa-function. Or sira sila. Do you think the computer will work? Or you can use the computer as it is? No, of course. So it means your Y is your computer. Okay? Your Y is your computer. And ang hinahanap ko dito, yung Y, is yung value ni Y. Ano ba si Y? Y-intercept mo. Isn't it that a while ago that we get, when we substitute something to Y, between the two and intercept, we got the value of Y. Now, that is the purpose, that is the function, no? And that's how function works. When we substitute the value of x's, we get the values of y. And y is undefined and unknown still. Okay? So, sinasabi dito sa polynomial function or sa polynomial equation, if the polynomial equation has the higher degree of than 0, pag meron siya at least one variable, polynomial equation siya, and meron siyang root sa complex numbers. Okay? When we say complex numbers, ano ba ang complex numbers? Puro tayo complex eh. What is a complex numbers in your own definition? Abigail. Complex number, it was discussed like grade 7 or grade 8. Sige nga po. What is a complex number?
Any other than integers?
Okay. How about Nathaniel? What is a complex number?
Sure, I think po it's a number po that is either it has an integer po or there's something added to it po like exponents for x po.
Okay. How about Joshua? What's a complex numbers? What, Joshua? Sige. Gab, please help Joshua, ha? Gab.
Combination of real numbers and imaginary number.
Okay, that's what you call now. Real numbers and?
Imaginary.
Okay. Dahil ikaw sumagot, no? Wag naman susunod pagka sumagot at nasagot niyo, hindi na kayo sasagot. Puro kita tawagin ko. Sige, Gab. You said real numbers and imaginary numbers. What is imaginary numbers? Sige. Real numbers. What is real numbers? Sige po. This is the thing, ha? When we say, kindly, let me have your eyes, no, in the screen. When we say complex numbers, it is composed of real numbers and imaginary numbers. Then this is the thing. What is real numbers? Real numbers are Siyempre, nababasa niya. Tama? Oh, what are the examples of real numbers? Ano yung nilalaman ng real numbers? Meron siyang, it is composed of rational and irrational numbers. Kindly remember that one. If you say real numbers, nandito yung rational and irrational numbers. Kaya nga sinasabi natin real, tunay, kumbaga nag-exist siya. Okay? Pero pag sinabi natin imaginary, syempre imaginary, hindi siya nag-exist. Pero ginagawa lang niya ang paraan para ma-resolve natin yung mga hindi natin masasagot. Like for example, I will be giving you an example of imaginary number. For example, you have square root of 9. Square root of 9. We only have 6 minutes. Square root of 9. What's the square root of 9? Answer. Comment section? 3. Good. Answer in 3. What if you have negative 9? What's the answer? Oh, see? Oh, wala. Walang negative 3. Why? Oh, how did you get how did you say so that the square root of 9 is 3? Isn't it? You can say that because when we multiply 3 to itself, the answer is 9. Ayun ang sagot, tama? So, you said it's negative 3. So, it means that when you multiply negative 3 to itself, is it negative 9? Hindi. So, hindi siya pwede. Now, this is the rule in radicals, ha? There is no such thing, and it is not allowed that there would be any negative number inside the radical sign. So, what will happen in here is that we are going to factor this number. To what? Ano ang factor niya na pwedeng maalis ang negative? By 9 times negative 1. So, it will become radical of 9 multiplied by negative 1. Yan dot na yan, multiplication yung operation na yan, ha? And when we have 9 multiplied by negative 1, we can factor them out by square root of 9 multiplied by square root of 1. In that case, meron na tayong square root of 9, tama? And it will become 3 only. But meron pa rin tayong square root of negative 1. Paano natin maalis? Ito ang general form ng imaginary number, ha? In imaginary number, imaginary is I, and the value of imaginary number is square root of negative 1. Always remember that one. I is equal to square root of negative 1. In that case, para maalis natin si square root of negative, maalis natin ang radical sign sa negative number, we're going to square both sides. So, square both sides, no? So, this will become square, this will become square, matatanggal ang radical. Tama? So, it will become I squared Sabi na ang highest degree is 3. And kung mapapansin nyo, ang factors or yung roots is negative 2, 0, and 2. Paano nakuha natin yan? By zeros or yung inequate natin sa zero property, zero product property. Tama? Okay. So, yun nga, sinasabi nga na polynomial function din siya, no? At least meron siyang isang degree, ay meron siyang isang root. Ano yung isang root na yun? Ito yan. Ayan. Meron siyang isang intercept na tumatama pa rin. Okay, and maybe we will go to cut this one already. Okay? Alright, so before anything else, you only have 5 seconds. Please press 1.